we will closely work with the team. If there are any issues, I will give my personal number to Henry, direct it to me. If there are any corrupt officers in Nema, tell me in confidence, DG, who you has done 1, 2, 3, and I will take action. Asante sana.
Asante sana DG for those responses, and of course I know there's still so many unanswered questions, but as you have heard, we are structuring the relationship between Nema and Kara so that it can be more effective and can address the challenges that we are dealing with. So we will be able, DG, to engage within the framework that we've agreed, so that we can be able to provide service to our members. So we'll release the DG, but I think he has a team here, DG?
Yes, team here? The team here, she will respond to those environmental impact assessment questions.
Yeah, she's from here. Thank you very much. Yeah, so if there are more questions later, you'll stay even after, during the break, you can interact with people and respond to specific questions. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are just halfway our program, but we'll try and make sure that we finish as fast as we can. So, let's have one meeting, please. So, like I mentioned, you saw the ED for National Construction Authority was here. He intended to engage us and make his presentation, but while here, he got a call, a summon basically, so he had to leave, unfortunately, without addressing us. But he has promised that we can organize another session when he can come again in person to engage us on a number of issues that we need him to engage us on. But he asked his colleague, Architect Nancy Milko, who is a manager at the National Construction Authority, to come and speak to us and engage us on a number of issues around NCA and its work. So Nancy will make a brief presentation, and then if there are questions, if there are issues or comments you want to have for NCA, she'll be able to take them up as we go along. So Nancy, please, karibu to speak to the resident associations. Karibu sana.
Or I can just speak.
You had a presentation?
Yes, I have a presentation, but I think I'll just proceed. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm Architect Milko Nancy. Yes, I am privileged to serve on behalf of the Executive Director, and I'm coming after the main meal has been taken. So in chai, and I appreciate that even, tea is very important. It's actually a drug that we must take after the main meal. I appreciate Nema for coming before us and the presentation and the issues that they have addressed. And for sure, the mandates are quite heavy. When you look at the mandate of National Construction Authority and look at the mandate of Nema with the MCA Act, and now with climate issues being on the fore, we have WARMA. It's actually a very heavy mandate. But I really appreciate what has been set forward, that I think power is really with the people, just as our constitution is very clear. So I'll go to a small presentation here, and the title of my presentation is Role of NCA Towards Development Control in Kenya. Yes, Role of NCA Towards Development Control in Kenya. I am pleased that NCA turned 10 years old. I don't know how old is Nema. Lynette? 20 years old. 21. Oh, so you already have your ID. We are getting into teenage, and when you begin to get into teenage, it becomes very interesting. But so far, so good. I'm glad to have been among the first people who founded NCA. By then, I was serving in public works. So I really understand how we have grown and even understand how Nema has grown. And I have several colleagues and we have worked a lot. I served as a regional coordinator in Kajiado County. And I'm sure there are many chairmen from Kajiado here. I've served in Nakuru as a regional coordinator, that's Central Rift. I've also served previously in Mount Kenya, Central Eastern, as a regional coordinator for 4 counties. And now I'm back at the headquarters this year. So far, we thank God. There is nothing new I'm bringing to you regards to NCA. We all know NCA. And sometimes, before I start my presentation, I like to know the audience. What do you feel of our progress so far? I just want to get through to, I've had a passion as an architect. I have a very big passion for NCA because first, developers, you and me, really do not regard professionals as they should be. As women, how many women are here? Yes, most probably you are a mother, and most probably you had a CS, or you had a natural birth. And during your procedure, you needed the best gyna to do the delivery of the baby. You as a man, you needed your wife to come back, to do life with you, okay? But when it comes to buildings, do we really get the best gynecologists? Sorry to use that word. Do we get the architect there? Do we get the engineer? The interesting part is developers go for the best fundi. But the best fundi is the best nurse. You just want the nurse there mwenye anaweza chukua kisu na nini, but they don't really understand the effect of kukata hapa. Ukikata hapa ina affect. Now the nurse just knows I need to cut here to remove the baby. But they don't understand that if I cut here, the blood will not go to the brain. Okay. So my interest really was to have developers to appreciate professionals, to appreciate architects, to appreciate. I went to school for actually 6 years at the University of Nairobi. People graduate and leave you. And you are there as a 5th year, na first year, na kukatia. And you've been there for 5 years. And then you have engineers, the same, they're in school for 5. You can imagine how long. Do you have any professionals there? Architects, engineers? Anybody? Wow. You know how much? How much? ADD? JQuat? Yes. So we have so much knowledge. But you look at, I don't think we really tap into these professionals. Now, NCA has tried to force developers into having these professionals. Because developers feel, they can just fund in your kazi. But really, there is a lot of importance in having an architect and an engineer from the beginning to the end. Can I repeat? It is important that you have an architect from the beginning to the end. Now, going back to that is just a bit of a background, but I'll make it very short. My slides are 26, but I think I'll present 6. I always, so NCA in its development control has a regulatory function. We also have a capacity building function. That is now what I do in training department. And we have research and advisory function. And we collaborate a lot. Like now, Kara, we want to collaborate a lot so that developers can really understand. Now, definitely you know what brought us into place. We have the NCA Act of number 41. And our vision is to attain an innovative, well-coordinated, and prosperous construction industry. Our mandate is to regulate and train and capacity build. We also have an advisory function. We advise the CS, we advise His Excellency on matters construction. And as I've said, some of the regulatory functions are with contractors, with artisans, with projects, and also on quality assurance. And on training and capacity building role, we have we train contractors, we train artisans, and we are about to enroll a new training called a Developers Technical Awareness Program. Oh, lovely. Okay. So he's asked me to share the presentation so that he can project. I beg your pardon, that will take less than a second. What is the name of this external flash disk? It's not able to reflect.
It's actually loading. Yeah, just put it in here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just. So we'll continue as he projects. It's really important that we project. So our second role is advisory. So we do through research, and we normally have what we call ICOS. It is a forum where we call researchers from all over, and then we have the CIP